Big weekend. Why? Because it's the return of Gervonta Tank Davis. And listen, y'all sleeping on Frank Martin. You sleep. Wake up. Also, co-main event, the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. Oh, man. Yeah, damn. What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bad Boxing TV. Man, if you don't get your big goofy ass in here and hit the bag. If you catch me for the very first time, please like, comment, subscribe, and most definitely hit that bell notification, man. So when I drop, you can catch that. You'll be notified. Shout out to the gang, man. Some of the biggest supporters of the channel, man. Tyree Celestine, DJJ, D1's Boxing, Mark Nash TV. Of course, I can't forget my guy, Troy Jack, man. Much love. Listen, it's a big weekend. It's the return of Gervonta Tank Davis, right? First of all, let's get that out the way. We've been waiting for the little fella, 5'5" and nothing but dynamite, versus a Frank the Ghost Martin, whom many of y'all, and listen, I see the comments, I see the blogs, I see the other YouTube channels. I'm watching, I'm paying attention. Most of you ain't giving Frank Martin a shot in hell versus Tank Davis. But let me say this, man. I am. Yeah, I am, man. And I know y'all gonna come for me in this video because you feel like little Tank gonna knock the hell out of Frank Martin. I keep saying the same thing, building up to this fight. I keep saying the same thing over and over again. We don't know what Tank looks like stepping outside that box, stepping outside that comfort zone, stepping outside of that flat-footed Mexican or Latino. Look at the resume. I ain't gonna listen. Look at the resume. The last time he fought anybody even close to an athletic black dude was Gamboa, and it took him 12 rounds to get that knockout. Leo Santa Cruz, Rolly Romero, Hector Luis Garcia, Ryan Garcia, it don't matter. None of them can move and is quick, I believe, as a Frank the Ghost Martin. Now, you could argue me down with the hand speed of Ryan Garcia. I can dig it. But Garcia ain't got nowhere near the footwork of Frank the Ghost Martin. So I'm telling you guys right now, I'm giving Frank Martin way more credit than you are tending to give him. Right? No, he didn't look his best versus a Hartunian, but who does? Who looks spectacular against Hartunian? He's like a Jermaine Ortiz or a Sandor Martin. It's going to be a long, tough night when you get in the ring with some of these savvy veterans who can really box. And I believe Frank Martin can really box. Now, don't get it tangled twisted. What that Birdman say? Don't get it tangled twisted and fucked up. I do believe Tank Davis wins this fight. I do. I think somehow, some way he pulls it out. But on the scorecards, yeah, I'm saying it now, and I'm gonna put my bet slip in so I can have the proof for y'all. And if you watch the channel, rock out with your boy, because you see I win way more than I lose. I've shown you several of my winning bet slips. You have to pick this fight to go the distance if you bet, right? Methods of victory. It goes the distance. Put what you want on there. I'm telling you. I don't think Frank Martin gets knocked out. And let me tell you why. I believe for Tank Davis stepping out of his box, stepping out of his element, as far as his typical opponents, in my opinion, Frank Martin, he shows so many flashes of so much great footwork, you can never really catch his head on the line, man. The great head movement, the great upper body movement. I like the way he plays with the level changes and the feints. I think he has just as good a footwork, if not superior footwork, to Tank Davis. The only thing I'm giving Tank Davis in this fight, as far as a real advantage, is the experience under the lights, which I do believe could play a critical factor in this fight. Shout out my guy RC and GMT Sports, who are both in agreement there. That could be critical for sure. But the IQ and the power, outside of that, man, I just believe the attributes are so similar. And this is somebody in there, though, even though I'll give the advantage or the edge, I would say, in IQ to Tank Davis, I don't think Frank Martin is behind him. If anything, he could match the wits, in my opinion, and have the physical ability to do so, right? To think something and actually be able to physically do it, to make a lot of trouble in this fight for Tank Davis. Can he hurt Tank Davis? I don't think so. I don't believe he possesses the kind of power to hurt Tank Davis, but I do believe he possesses the kind of power to maybe get a little respect out of Tank Davis. One thing Tank can't allow to happen is to allow Frank Martin to get up significantly on these scorecards. Hopefully, Coach Calvin, Coach Kenny, his team is telling him, listen, we're going to get in here. We're going to box this motherfucker and get some of these rounds. We're not going to allow him to run away with those early rounds like Tank Davis has done so very often, and relying on his IQ and power, setting something for somebody to step into and get that knockout victory later. Because in this fight, that knockout victory just might not come later, bro. It just might not come later. So he's going to have to fight to win some of these early rounds, in my opinion, versus a Frank Martin. Because if Frank, in fact, does go up heavy on the scorecards and Tank Davis needs a knockout to win, and not get some type of controversial decision by getting his hand raised, Frank could win this fight, right? I don't think he does. I think Tank and his team's going to come in with the right game plan. But if that so happens, if we look around and we all are in agreement, it's the consensus during the fight that, yo, Tank needs a knockout to win. But again, don't get it twisted. I am picking Tank to win this fight. I'm picking Tank to get in that tool bag, show us over and over again why he is special, right? I think in this fight, Tank gets another opportunity, just like the Pitbull Cruz fight, just like the Gamboa fight, to show us that he's special, to show us that he's continuously getting better. And by doing so is completely outboxing Frank, understanding that maybe at some point in this fight, he can't find the knockout punch. Frank just might be too slick. The footwork just might be too good. The IQ just might be a little too high, and use other tactics to put rounds away in this fight and go to the scorecards and get his hand raised. Also, so my prediction for this fight, I think it goes the distance, but I think Tank finds a way. I just believe he's that good to find a way to beat an extremely talented, undefeated, now top contender in the Frank Martin. Also, the pay-per-view prices for this fight: US based $74.95, so basically $75, and over in the UK $20, 20 euros, right? So typical price point, I feel, for a Tank Davis fight against somebody whom you don't deem to be another superstar or that type of dance partner. What will this do? 500,000 pay-per-view buys? Probably not. It's Tank Davis without the real dancing partner. Maybe you get 200,000 to 300,000 at the end of the day. But I definitely want to know y'all's thoughts in the comment section, man. Who you got in this fight? And disagree, agree, whatever you do. Hate, like, all y'all gonna hate or like. So definitely the haters, though, come to the front. I love talking to y'all first. That's all I got for y'all on this one, man. Big T.O. heavy bag. I'm out of here, man. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.